What's up, guys? Welcome to the video on an absolutely cold and freezing day here. It's winter, but that won't stop episode 3 of Dope Car Tech. All the opulence of a sporty sedan, but with a distinctive styling, is the 2019 Audi A7, and today I'm going to be reviewing it. The A7 is a sporty, elegant coupe with 4 doors, of course, which is very practical but also sporty. And the design language of this car is what I really love, due to the sloping roofline, which gives it a very low and elegant styling. I've spent a whole day test driving and reviewing the A7, and here are my 5 top tech features of the A7. Alright, so my number 5 feature of the A7 is, of course, the design. And I'm not just talking about the interior design, I'm talking about the exterior design also. When you look at the front of this car, just as Audi has always been dominating with its single frame hexagonal front grille and its distinctive headlights, which is a matrix LED headlight. Moving over to the back, the rear spoiler here is actually retractable. It actually comes out when the car is on high speed to give it more downforce. This car is a very, very sporty ride. The design line in the back of this car gives it a very muscular nature, and it's a quattro all-wheel drive, so you're going to be having a lot of fun driving this car because it's 4-wheel drive. Also, one of my favorite exterior feature is the sloping roofline, which gives this car a very, very low drag coefficient, and it moves very well through the air with less resistance. The frameless doors, as you can see, you just have only the glass. So because of the weight of this car, to make it more sporty and agile on the road, it actually has a frameless door to reduce weight. Also in front, the technology here is when you open the door, the glass actually lowers to give it a clearance here so that it can open freely. And when you close it, it goes back up. The design in front of the A7, it's not boring at all, due to its upright, hexagonal, massive front grille, and you have large air intakes by the side for cooling the brakes, especially when you're on high speed. I like the matrix LED lights here. They actually do a magical dance, or let me say an animation, when you lock and you unlock the car. You have your front camera here, which is actually used for creating the 3D camera view of this car. I also like the creases along the bonnet. It gives it a more aggressive look. And also, there are infrared cameras up in front here for night vision, for looking at the car in front of you, for its cruise control. There's also sensor here for auto braking, just in case you are not paying attention to your driving. This car is actually intelligent to stop you from having an accident. The A7 is a car that would definitely not go unnoticed. The design of the rear is less conspicuous than the front. It's very, very simplistic, and well, I like the art to the rear. An Audi wouldn't be an Audi without this trapezoid light bar in the back of this car. It actually uses OLED technology. Okay, so you know how Samsung and iPhone actually battle for OLED technology in their screens? Audi has actually showed who's boss here by this OLED technology here, which does sort of an animation when you lock and unlock the car. Take a look. Beneath here is this chrome bar. This seems like an exhaust, but the exhaust is actually underneath. And owing to the fact that this car is a liftback, you actually have tons of trunk space, and it's actually power operated. The boot is considerably large for a sportsback car like this, and to put the cherry on top of the cake, it's also hands-free. Whoa, yeah, that's boss. I love that. So before I go into the front of this A7, I would like to talk about the interior passenger space of the rear. As a matter of fact, due to the fact that this car has a low roof line, there's actually less headroom. So if you are above 6 foot, you actually have no headroom. But knee room and leg room is a considerable ample space, and long journeys in this car won't be overbearing. Interior quality. Audi has always have a high reputation for build quality. It's actually so magnificent inside this car. I like the metallic trim on the door, your door handle, the metallic trim on the power windows. Also, I like the air vents which come out from the side. The technology from the A8 has trickled down to this A7. On the rear climatic vent of this car, there are actually touch-sensitive controls for your passengers. You actually have air intakes for the passengers in the rear. So this car actually has 4 climatic zones, in the sense that the 4 passengers sitting in this car can actually choose a different temperature for themselves. And you have some nice space to put whatever you want. Some 2 cup holders. And I like the quality and sturdy feel to it. The build quality in this car is superb. I'm not disappointed. Audi doesn't disappoint in its build qualities. LED reading lights. You have some coat hooks. To control the rear air vents are actually these touch sensitive controls. You just glide your hands across it to control your air vent. The Alcantara to the door. It's very, very expensive. So first off, I like the clean design and splash of elegance in the front of this car. The dashboard quality, the dashboard build, and just like the technology from the A8 has trickled down to this A7, you actually have this massive 10.3 touchscreen display. Something more peculiar to this infotainment system is that it's angled towards the driver for a more sporty drive. But that of the A8 is actually flat. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below for you to check out my review on the A8, and you tell me what you think about the A8 and the A7, which you're going to choose. Also, it's very, very comfortable in the front of this car. The build quality, the metallic trim. This car actually has power operated seats and memory seats. So if your big mama sits in front of this car and actually has to adjust the seat all the way back, you can actually set your own memory and save it. And when you come, you just press it and the chair automatically puts you back in your sitting position. Very nice. Also a charging pad with signal booster for your phone. So if your phone has wireless charging technology, you don't need to come with any charger. You just place your phone here and it charges wirelessly. The stitching on the dashboard, I like this glossy feeling here. I like the Quattro badge here. Inside this car, you're not going to feel claustrophobic because there's actually a good view of the road outside. Everything is just so nice, just as the A8. Very, very nice design. Simplistic, clean, elegant. Every material you touch, everything just feels so quality. The only difference of the A7 and the A8 is the vents. Now, the vents in the A8, they come out automatically, but these ones are just there, looking at you in your face. Oh, but I can't complain. I really love this. Audi actually does one of the best steering wheels in the industry. I like the flat bottom steering wheel. And behind this heated steering wheel is Audi's class-leading 12.3-inch instrument cluster. Actually digital. The best in the business. High-definition graphics. You have your engine speed and you have your kilometers per hour. And overall, you have paddle shifters on the steering wheel just in case you want to actually drive more sporty by putting this car in dynamic mode and using this to change your gears. The steering stalks, they actually feel so quality, and there are actually no buttons to put on the headlights. There are actually some capacitive buttons for your rear fog light and your auto light, which is actually cool. The ergonomics to the sitting position of this front is actually very, very superb. The front grille of this car has been mimicked into this place here. You can see the hexagonal front grille design here, and also a hexagonal design here also, which is very nice. The gear shift doubles as an armrest, and also easy to use. You push it up for reverse, down for drive, and you press the P button for park. So now it's time to drive the A7 and see what it drives like. Alright, straight off the bat, the A7 is a very easy car to drive. Its very upscaled flat bottom steering wheel is very light and accurate, but it's a typical numb Audi steering, as you will not be getting any feedback from the road you are driving on. Well, that's just because this car is a luxury car and it annihilates the driver from the road conditions. And my word, do I find this instrument cluster, which Audi calls its virtual cockpit, to be very intuitive, crisp, with HD quality just as the A8. The configurability and usability of the gauge cluster has already given the impression that it was a well thought out tech feature of the A7. Although using the touchscreens could be quite distracting while you're driving, that if you are not used to its layout and configurations, the learning curve to getting used to it is very slim and it's something you get used to in no time. Nonetheless, there is a redundant control to all the car's functionality, which is its voice command systems, which I got to use and I was blown away while using it, because you can actually make a conversation with the car just like the Siri on your iPhone. It was really intelligent, so I tried stuffs like, "I'm hungry.
I am searching for a restaurant nearby."
Wow, really cool. Let me try something more logical. "Audi, I'm cold.
What temperature should I set for you?
Set temperature to 28 degrees.
I am raising the temperature to 28 degrees Celsius.
Wow. The gear changes are swift and smooth, and there is a lot of torque. This is due to the fact that this engine puts down a whopping 336 pound-feet of pulling force and 365 horsepower from its twin-scrolled V6 engine, doing 0 to 60 in a 5.1 seconds. Then there's the holographic heads-up display of your current speed on the windshield of the car. Quite frankly, you do not have to take your eyes off the road to look at your gauge cluster to know the current speed you're driving on. This car comes with all the bells and whistles that tech enthusiasts can ask for. Something of an overkill. Well, that's German engineering for you. Which brings me to the key. This is the key to the A7. Nothing particularly unusual about it, although it's very lightweighted and handy. It comes equipped with an RFID tags in the key, so when you get close to the doors with the key in your pocket, they automatically unlock. Overall, it has a premium feel to it and it's not an overkill at all. It also lets you start the car without having to reach out to the key from your pocket, which is well thought out and very impressive. One of the perks automakers try achieving is a car which is very aerodynamic, cuts through the wind with less resistance to increase efficiency and reduce friction and road noise. That's why the A7 achieves a very low 0.02 drag coefficient. The air moves from the front, cuts through the air intake on the lower bumper, rolls over the wheels and smoothly across the side with less disturbance. And then the air that goes over the top cuts through the side mirrors and down its slopey roofline to the back. The retractable rear spoiler provides a lot of downforce to give the A7 more balance and stability at high speed. Now that's some dope engineering. Further optimization to improve efficiency is the 48-volt battery system. The A7 is a mild hybrid vehicle. How that works? Well, it has a 48-volt battery that stores electrical energy when the brakes are applied. The energy is used when the car is coasting between 35 to 120 km per hour. A practical example is, when you ride your bicycle and you paddle to a particular speed to rest your tired legs while the bicycle rolls. Just like the bicycle, the battery keeps the car rolling while the engine is totally shut off. And for the record, while test driving the A7, the system works very well, especially in stop and go traffic, when the engine shuts itself completely before getting to the stoplight and restarts seamlessly well when the car gets up to 30 km per hour. German engineering for you. So to wrap things up, my verdict on the A7. It's a car that's very practical, comfortable, and when you want to drive this car really fast, it transforms into a sports car that's really dope with tech. If you like the A7, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.